Good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome you to our Thursday, May 14th, 2026 Board of Education meeting. We are calling the meeting to order. It is 7:09 PM, and if everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Reading of meeting notice. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Verona Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published in the Star Ledger online and also be viewed by the public on the board's official website, www.veronaschools.org, or the legal notices of New Jersey public entities will also be accessible at the New Jersey's Department of State's legal notices at www.nj.gov. Copies of tonight's agenda and resolutions have been made available to the public via the Board of Education website. Dr. Riley, if you could please call roll.
Mr. Wack. Mr. Perna. Ms. Knodig.
Here.
Mrs. Prisco.
Here.
Mr. Boone. Here. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our agenda, I need a motion to approve our minutes from our confidential and regular session meeting on April 28th and our confidential and special meeting of May 5th, 2026.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Waka, seconded by Ms. Knodig. Any discussion? Dr. Riley, if you could please call roll.
Mr. Waka.
Yes.
Ms. Knodig.
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco.
Yes.
Mr. Boone.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Moving on to our superintendent's report by Ms. Diane DiGiuseppe.
Good evening. I just want to give a shout out to, we've been talking obviously about the budget for the last several meetings, and what I neglected to do is thank not just Dr. Riley, but the administrators that really dropped everything to sit down and go through class counts, certifications. We're still doing that, still looking at whether or not we need a kindergarten or not, and whether we can make do with the number of sections that we have. But they really, it takes a village, and for something like this, where you're looking at that kind of a budget deficit, having the cooperation and collaboration was really very helpful to Dr. Riley and me. So just an update on testing. This is the mad rush of the testing season. We are finishing the advanced placement testing tomorrow is the last day at the high school. NJSLA Math and ELA have been completed at our elementary schools, and we are finishing NJSLA tomorrow at HBW. We are beginning NJSLA on Monday at the high school. So it's a long testing period for kids, and we're looking forward to having that completed as well. Staffing update, we are still looking for 2 special education teachers at the elementary level, one at Brown and one at Lanning, and we are in the process of interviewing. We are also interviewing for 2 elementary candidates at Forest Avenue, 1 tenure track position and 1 leave replacement for next year. We are looking for kindergarten at FN Brown. That one is, I think they've concluded the interviewing at the school level, and they're sending me a finalist. I'll be interviewing the finalist tomorrow. We had an opening in middle school math and science 5th grade at HBW, and you'll see someone is on the agenda this evening. We are still interviewing for health and physical education at the high school, and we are just advertising for a part-time academic enrichment. We talked about that over the past 2 meetings as well, that those retirements allowed for us to add that half-time position back in, because that really was the one area that program would have been significantly impacted trying to do it without a lead. We also need a full-time and part-time custodian, and we are currently advertising. Upcoming events, tomorrow is Music in the Parks. Middle school kids are getting on buses and going out to guess it's Great Adventure. I was going to say Dorney Park, but it's Great Adventure, right? Yeah, yeah. It depends on where your school is. Some of them go to Dorney. Capstone starts tomorrow or Saturday, depending on student programs. So the high school gets very quiet from now until June.
About that,
Sure. Hope I can answer.
does Serena and myself need to abstain on that agenda item since both of our sons are part of that?
I would, yeah.
Will we, will, will we have a core? Do we need the majority of the full board?
No, not for this.
All right, very good.
National Honor Society inductions next week on Thursday night. This is a district homework-free weekend. Sorry, for next weekend or Memorial Day weekend is a district homework-free weekend. We are closed on the 24th. I didn't realize I scheduled meetings on the 24th, and people had to tell me we're not open that day. I said that's why everyone's schedule was open. I saw a day on the schedule nobody had any meetings. I'm like, I'm taking it, but it falls so early this year, Memorial Day. We have an all elementary band concert at the high school on Tuesday the 25th. And senior awards will be on the 28th. And I can't believe we are talking about the end of May. I mean, I know June comes the same time every year. It just feels like it gets here faster. That's my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Ms. DiGiuseppe?
Ryan, were you working for the Essex County Courts? How did that come about? It's great.
Okay, well, you could answer and then
sure.
go into your report, Ryan.
Yeah, okay. So, Dr. Tamara recommended me Judge Romanician, who happens to live here. So he's a native Verona resident, and his family is spread all about. And yeah, I begin Monday, and I have orientation tomorrow, which is really nice. Yeah. Thank you. All right, with my report. So good evening. So in athletics, the girls track team had once more shined at the county championship with senior Gwen Neal, as always, winning the 100-meter. And sophomore Natalie Aloya winning the pole vault. And she also happened to take second place in javelin as well. And Morgan Rossi, who finished 5th in high jump and 6th in the 400-meter hurdles. And last Friday was girls softball senior night, in which they struck a win against Bayonne. And 2 nights ago was the boys tennis senior day versus Cedar Grove, in which they won 4-1. And senior Nick Sy reached a record of 50 wins. Similarly, boys baseball senior Charlie Pepe scored his 100th career hit last week. And both seniors Sean McElroy and Emerson Garrett were presented the Karen Fuccello Scholar Athlete Award for their outstanding representation of VHS and their community. And in the world of performing arts, sophomore Molly Walsh was nominated by the Paper Mill Playhouse for an outstanding performance in a female-identified supporting role for her role in the production of Mamma Mia. And furthermore, next Wednesday, the 20th, will be Chamber Night, a selection of student-run groups performing chamber music, and Creative Arts Night will be taking place on the 27th, where students will show off their art with live music accompanying the art show. And then we will be having of course, the Subject Honor Society induction ceremony Tuesday, June 2nd at 6:30. And that's my report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Ryan? Moving on, there are no committee reports for this evening. Moving on to public comments on any agenda action items, anything we will be voting on. If you would like to speak upon, please come to the podium and just state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, Keith Vajonas. I just have a question actually around the budget that was passed and just having a view on what passed, what's being cut, what are the highlights. Just, I looked for the meeting notes. So I know, yeah, it's for agenda items. Is there a place where I can speak otherwise in the agenda?
Yeah, there'll
Then
be,
I'll sit
I'm
down.
sorry, no worries. Thank you. Thanks. Anyone else on any action items that we're voting on? Is this something we're going to be voting on, or is it, okay, thank you.
I believe it's agenda item B14, but first let me introduce myself because you asked the question. My name is David Burstein. I live in West Orange, and um, I wouldn't expect a school district to know how its contract rates compare across 600 other school districts in the state. That data just doesn't exist in one place, and that's why I started collecting them pricereflect.com. I wanted to bring a particular contract to your attention. I believe it's Summit Home Healthcare, agenda item B14. In the proposed contract, Verona would pay Summit Home Healthcare $80 per hour. The same provider charges South Plainfield $65. Since the contract is for next school year, perhaps there's still an opportunity to revisit the rate with the provider before finalizing it. Thank you.
Thank you. We
Yeah.
have to compare whether or not they're providing the same services.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Moving on to any discussion items from new business or old business. Seeing none, any correspondence, Ms. Di Giuseppe? Thank you. Moving on to our action items on agenda items, I need a motion to approve our personnel resolutions A1 through A15.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Boone, seconded by Mr. Waka. Are there any discussions? Seeing none, Dr. Rudd?
Just for what it's worth on A4, I'm just thrilled to see Doc Siegel coming back into the fold a little bit. So he's a wonderful addition or re-addition to this. Happy to see.
Great. Dr. Riley, if you could please call roll.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Ms. Canodi.
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco.
Yes,
Mr. Boone. Yes. Motion passed.
thank you. Moving on to our resolutions for education. I have a motion to approve resolutions B1 all the way through to B22. Motion by,
I'll second.
thank you, motion by Mrs. Knodig, seconded by Mr. Boone. Are there any discussions? Seeing none, Dr. Riley, if you could please call roll.
Mr. Walker.
B1 through B21, yes, and then B22, I'll abstain myself.
Thank you. Ms. Canodi.
Same with regard to the abstention for B22, but yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Prisco.
Yes,
Mr. Boone. Yes. Motion's passed.
thank you. I'm going to make one quick comment. I'm excited. I have 3 capstone students starting with me on Monday. Yeah, I'm very excited. Moving on to athletics and co-curricular, I need a motion to approve resolutions C1 through C3. Motion by Mr. Waka, seconded by Ms. Knodig. Any discussion? Dr. Riley, if you could please call roll.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Ms. Canodi.
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco.
Yes.
Mr. Boone. Yes.
Moving on to facilities, I need a motion to approve resolutions D1 through D2.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Boone, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Knodig. Any discussion? Seeing none, Dr. Riley, please call roll.
Mr. Walker. Ms. Canodi.
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco.
Yes,
Mr. Boone. Yes.
thank you. Moving on to finance, I need a motion to approve E1, let's see, through E13.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Boone, seconded by
Second.
Ms. Knodig. Are there any discussions? Seeing none, Dr. Riley, if you could call roll.
Mr. Walker.
Yes.
Ms. Canodi.
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco.
Yes,
Mr. Boone. Yes.
thank you. And just on to our governance and policies resolutions, F1 through, a motion to policies F1 through F2, please. Motion. Motion by Ms. Knodig, seconded by
I'll second.
Mr. Boone. Any other discussions? Dr. Riley, if you could please call roll.
Mr. Wacker? Yes. Ms. Kenotic?
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco?
Yes,
Mr. Boomer?
thank you.
Yes.
Now we will open it up to public comments on any items that you would like to speak on. Please state your name and you have 3 minutes. Thank you. Yep, this is it. Thank you.
Sorry for that earlier. No, my Robert's rules are all out of whack, so. There was a lot of public support and sort of people coming together for the budget, and my question is ultimately around, like, where do we see what passed, like what was good? There's a new scoreboard, what happened in terms of cuts to programs and to teachers. I looked to see the minutes. I know they were just approved in this meeting, but how can we find out an accounting of what was passed?
In the minutes, first of all, I mean, I can go do a quick run through of it. It's
would be
really what we talked about. It was on the RIF list that was on the agenda. So it is one elementary counselor was reduced, one elementary media, library media teacher, one elementary art teacher, one elementary music teacher. The academic enrichment was riffed down to as well, but I mentioned earlier, we're putting a half-time position back in. We did not fill retirements, so we had a math teacher retire at the high school that was not being filled. We had two elementary teachers that their retirements are not being filled. So that equates to 2 elementary reductions. One bubble section at the elementary in kindergarten is being condensed into 1 class in grade 1. So that's another elementary position. I'm trying to think if I'm getting all of it, because I don't have it in front of me right now.
No, I get it. So I'm just wondering when that will be published
It's in the minutes for tomorrow night.
for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
For-
That'll be on the website tomorrow. They were approved
Okay,
tonight.
they were just approved
Yeah.
here. My question was also around I'd raised this in the public meeting around the maintenance reserve. Is any of the maintenance reserve being used this year?
Toward the budget next year?
Correct.
Yes. I don't have that number in front of me, though.
Okay. Dr. Riley, do you have that number?
So the maintenance reserve is not being used
I
for
like
next
that
year.
it
If we're getting into a back and forth, I would really I'd really caution us against a back and forth discussion on items. But
Okay.
no,
I showed up in your office a few weeks ago to try to understand that, and you weren't available. So here in public to try to understand that.
I would welcome you to make an appointment, and I'd be more than happy to meet with you personally.
Okay, I did. You weren't there. I think a pipe burst or something.
I
but
was called out on an emergency.
I understand. Okay. Thank you. I look forward to seeing the minutes. Thank you for taking my question.
Sure, thank you. Any other comments from the public?
Hi, everyone.
Ms. Frizella?
Hi, Denise Rosella. My comment is actually nothing to do with budget or finance. So we're going to move away from that topic. It was just simply, is there, and I've looked in the policies and in the handbook for the high school, is there a policy about when grades have to be published on the grade book after an assignment is due? This, just to give you a background, I kind of keep track of where my kids are. Like, I don't go into their Google Classroom and find it, but I will look, a few times to see where they are, especially towards the end of the semester. And everything looked good. And then all of a sudden, there was a drop because in test that was taking like the second week in the marking period had not been put into the grade book. So we were unaware, or I was unaware, that there was some concern or some issue with that subject, and we weren't able to get additional assistance. So is there a policy? If not, is it possible to think about putting a policy in place or some sort of guidance so that teachers don't wait until the night before grades are due to drop grades? Thanks.
You're welcome, and I agree.
Thank you.
There is not currently a timeline. There should be. for that reason. And also, when you're looking at an online grade book, grades impact in the beginning of the marking period much more significantly than at the end, right? Because you have more points, it's less of an impact. But what also should be happening is if a teacher is aware that a student had a poor grade, a phone call should be made. We shouldn't rely on the parents always checking into a grade book. And when we go to electronic grade books, when school districts were going to electronic grade books back in early 2000s, that became kind of commonplace where teachers stopped reaching out to parents because you have access. That should not stop. As educators, we should reach out, and we will make that part of our culture as well.
It's also an interesting question, like, just the idea, can a board make a policy? Because it would be a school district operational question. So it would be your discretion, right? About how you want your schools to internally work. I think it's a really good question you brought up. Like, can a board even make that policy? Which you know.
We could, but it's not necessary to have a board policy. It could go into our faculty handbook. It could go into our procedures. Yeah.
And would it not also put the responsibility too on the building administrators to remind their particular teachers? And yeah, I mean, to Superintendent Giuseppe's earlier comment, as a former extremely helicopter parent myself, I found myself probably driving the teachers insane with some of the questions about submissions, but it did get to the point where if something was missing, they would be giving me a heads up at that point. But yeah, there is a lot of push-pull in there, as Ms. Verzala indicated.
I agree, Mike, and I like the idea of the faculty handbook being probably the doctrine for something like that.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any public comments? Seeing none, then our next scheduled public meeting is Thursday, May 28th, beginning with confidential at 6 p.m., public session at 7 p.m. in the Verona High School Learning Commons. I need a motion to adjourn our meeting. Motion by Mr. Waka.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Boone. All in favor? Aye. It is 7:32, and we are adjourning the meeting. Thank you all, and have a